WINIX 5520 Air Purifier promises hospital-grade air in your living room. Either we have finally reached clean air nirvana, or this is just another box that moves air and drains your wallet. On paper, it sounds wild. CADR ratings over 230 for smoke, dust, and pollen. A 4-stage system with a washable pre-filter. A chunky activated carbon filter for odors. A true HEPA filter claiming 99.97% capture down to 0.3 microns. Plus WINIX PlasmaWave tech that supposedly breaks down VOCs and allergens at a molecular level. But here is the thing. Impressive specs do not always translate to real-world results. I ran the WINIX 5520 non-stop in my apartment for a full month, used an air quality monitor, and stress-tested it with cooking smoke, dust, and pet dander. I have put the direct link to check current pricing in the description. But before you click anything, let me show you what I discovered after 4 weeks of testing. The WINIX 5520 is marketed as a serious air cleaner for medium to large rooms, and the promises are not shy. It claims to remove 99.97% of airborne particles down to 0.3 microns. It advertises a multi-stage system to tackle dust, smoke, pollen, pet dander, and household odors. It boasts smart sensors with auto mode that supposedly ramps the fan up and down to maintain clean air without wasting energy. And thanks to PlasmaWave, it says it can neutralize VOCs and even some microbes while staying ozone-safe and carb-compliant. Sounds pretty bulletproof, right? Powerful, smart, safe. But here is where things get interesting. Let us hit the first big claim. Large room performance. They imply this thing can handle spaces up to around 360 square feet like a champ. Reality check. The CADR numbers are solid for its class, but the marketing conveniently glosses over air changes per hour. In my 200 square foot bedroom with the door closed, starting from a PM 2.5 of about 38 micrograms per cubic meter after cooking, the 5520 dropped it under 5 in about 25 minutes on high. That is excellent. But in an open-plan 500 square foot living kitchen area, those same numbers dropped much slower, and we were still hovering around 12 to 15 after 45 minutes unless I cranked turbo. For allergy relief, you generally want 4 to 5 air changes per hour. In a really big room, this unit struggles to hit that without running loud and hard. So they claim big room coverage. What you actually get is very good performance in small to medium rooms and just okay in big open spaces. Here is why. Airflow and CADR just are not high enough for true whole floor coverage unless you buy two. Next claim. Odor and VOC removal. They lean hard on that thick activated carbon filter and PlasmaWave. In my testing, food smells from frying bacon and stir-fry did clear noticeably faster than with cheaper purifiers that use flimsy carbon sheets. Within 30 to 40 minutes, the lingering kitchen funk was mostly gone if the unit was on high. That is the good news. But let us be real. Strong, oily cooking odors and things like paint fumes still hang around. This is not a magic eraser. PlasmaWave sounds high-tech, but in practice the difference with it on V's off was small on my meter. The big work is done by good old HEPA and carbon. The plot twist. Some users on multiple review sites report being sensitive to ionizers in general. The 5520 is carb certified, so ozone levels are within safety limits, but if you are sensitive, you might end up turning PlasmaWave off, which kind of undercuts the big marketing buzzword. Then there is noise. They hint at whisper quiet operation. On sleep and low, that checks out. In my bedroom, the 5520 measured around the high 20s to low 30s decibels on sleep, basically a soft fan noise, easy to sleep with. But once you hit high or turbo, it gets real. Turbo pushed into the low 60 decibel range in my tests, which sounds like a strong bathroom fan. Not insane, but you are not watching TV on turbo without noticing it. So they claim quiet, smart cleaning. What you actually get is quiet only on the lower settings. If your air quality is bad and auto kicks it up, you will hear it. And we have to talk about filter life, because here is where it gets mathematically impossible. The marketing likes to say up to 12 months for the HEPA and carbon filters. In a dusty home with pets and regular cooking, that is fantasy. After 4 weeks of heavy use, my pre-filter was coated. The carbon was already taking on that used look, and the HEPA had visible dust buildup. Realistically, if you run this on auto 24/7 in a busy household, you are looking at 6 to maybe 8 months per filter set, not a full year. That matters because replacement filter packs are not cheap. The machine itself is mid-priced, but the long-term cost can sneak up on you. Now let us break down a few key areas. Filtration performance. This is the strongest part. True HEPA plus a legit carbon filter is a big step up from budget purifiers that use thin carbon sheets. In my particle tests, the 5520 beat popular budget units from Levite in speed when clearing cooking smoke in a medium room, and it was right in the same league as the classic Kawai Mighty for fine particles. Here is what nobody tells you. For smoke and dust, the 5520 is absolutely legit for its price bracket. Noise and usability. The control panel is simple, auto mode works reasonably well, and the air quality light responds quickly to smoke from a burnt toast test. But what the marketing does not mention is that if you are picky about noise, you will probably babysit it. Several user reviews mention fan rattle or a faint hum on certain speeds. Mine had a tiny rattle on turbo that disappeared after a few days, which is common but still annoying at this price. Build quality and design. The plastics feel decent, not luxury but solid enough. This does not feel like cheap dropshipped hardware. WINIX has been around for years, and the 5520 sits in the same family as their 5502 workhorse. However, some users report quality control issues. Units arriving with scratched panels, sensors stuck on medium air quality, or the unit off gassing plastic smell for a few days. Mine had a mild plastic odor out of the box that faded after 48 hours on high in a spare room. Smart features and sensor. Here is what nobody tells you. The particle sensor is good at detecting smoke and visible dust, but it is not a lab-grade meter. You can get situations where your nose says the room smells off, but the indicator still shows good. That is because it is not directly reading VOCs in any detail. So relying purely on the color ring can give you a false sense of security. So, verdict time. The WINIX 5520 Air Purifier is not a scam, not overhyped junk, and not a miracle either. It is a strong, well-rounded purifier for small to medium rooms, with genuinely good particulate removal and better than average odor control thanks to that beefy carbon filter. Buy with confidence if you want a serious step up from cheap Amazon no-name purifiers. You are okay with replacing filters every 6 to 8 months, and you will mainly use it in spaces around 200 to 350 square feet. Skip it if you are trying to purify a huge open floor plan with a single unit. You are extremely noise sensitive on higher speeds, or you hate anything that uses ionization, even at safe levels. For the usual mid-$200 street price or whatever sale you find through the link, it offers solid value, but the long-term filter cost is the catch. Make sure you budget for that. Stay savage out there. Thanks for hanging out with me on this deep dive into the WINIX 5520. If this review saved you from wasting money or helped you find something actually worth buying, I have put the link to check current pricing and read more real-world reviews in the description. And hey, if you do decide to buy through my link, it helps fund these investigations without costing you anything extra. Drop a comment with what purifier you are using now or what you want me to call out next, especially if there is a hyped model you are suspicious about. Hit like, subscribe, and turn on notifications if you want more no BS product breakdowns. This is your channel name. Cutting through the marketing fog. Catch you in the next one.